So the Ravens clinched the number one seed in the AFC with a 56-19 win over the Miami Dolphins. And in this video, we're going to talk about it. And my first takeaway is this quarterbacky enough to you? Is this quarterbacky enough for the naysayers? Why? Because Lamar proceeded to have a MVP level game. Jackson 5, a perfect passer rating, and a EPA that is very, very high for those stat nerds. But hey, the past 2 to 3 weeks, Lamar has been putting up great stats and putting up great tape, which is more important than just stats. So I love to see it. And that was a game where the Dolphins, they were banged up. We were banged up coming to this game. A good part of our secondary was out. Brent Stevens was out. Cal Hamilton was out. He was rolled out. We had guys come out in this game too who were a bit banged up. Marlon Humphrey had an injury. Archer Millette, he went out, and he came back at some point. At some point in the game, we had to play Andrew Adams, of all people. Right? Andrew Adams. He's a special teamer. He is basically a special teamer. And we still allowed 19 points. Well, that first drive was really, really bad. I mean, they were moving the ball down the field, and they really dominated us on the ground especially. But again, we really decided to pick it up in our defense. And I mean, there was mistakes by the Dolphins. You know, like they actually made mistakes on their own, where we got lucky. Two plays was the Tyreek Hill. He dropped the ball in the end zone, and it led to a field goal. And Chase Claypool, he dropped the ball in the end zone. Again, could have been a touchdown. But even then, later on, like it was at the end of the third quarter, at the start of the fourth quarter, they actually scored a touchdown not even long after. So I don't know if it's like luck or anything, but yeah. They scored not long after. So you tell me what it is. So, like I said, defensively started off bad, and we've picked it up. They have been running the ball well on us the first drive. They had their plays, they had theirs in the rest of the game, but it wasn't really anything. We were able to force turnovers. We forced 3 turnovers that game, 2 interceptions and a fumble, especially that second quarter. In that second quarter, in the blink of an eye, we just went in, scored twice. 3 times, basically. And then after that, we just went off. It was basically it. They lost the game in the second quarter. The Dolphins lost the game in the second quarter. If I was analyzing a Dolphins game, I would say. But, hey, I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm analyzing the Ravens. So, yeah, a dominant win, another blowout win against a top team in the league. We have beat 10 teams with a winning record this season, by the way, which is 10 of our 13 wins. So no one can say we haven't played anyone, right? We basically had a gauntlet of a schedule, and it's actually not even over. It's not over yet. We have the Steelers, but it doesn't matter. That's the thing. But we have the Steelers, a team that is looking to make the playoffs. So that's the thing too. Like, I'm just saying, after the bye, we had the hardest schedule in the entire league, and we have went undefeated so far, leading up to week 18. The Rams have been our biggest challenge so far because we have destroyed every other team in that stretch. The 49ers was supposed to be our biggest challenge, but we dominated the 49ers, which was supposed to be the best team in the league, and they still have highest odds to win the Super Bowl right now as we speak. And it's so unbelievable the way like it was supposed to be a gauntlet. People were nervous for good reason because it's very good teams, and it's not easy to win in this league. It's not easy to win. So again, kudos to this team. Kudos to Lamar, kudos to Roquan, kudos to the coaches, even the coaching. I mean, John Harbaugh, he made a lot of mistakes down the stretch, but he hasn't. Again, you have to get credit to him. I give more credit to our coordinators as well. To basically, McDonald's been coaching his ass off. Todd Monken, he's been a great revelation. You'll love to see it. Like, what we're witnessing is peak Lamar Jackson. We're witnessing peak Lamar Jackson in that offense. Really, he has more freedom. He has more freedom in this offense, which is what we like to see. But what is really frustrating, right? People like to point out, have been pointing out that he has gotten help, right? Has gotten help, and like, oh, look at this. Oh, they're making his job easy. Oh, look, blown cover. Like, Zay Flowers' touchdown was not a blown coverage. It was not. And a take like this is an example of how 75% of people who watch football do not know a single thing. Because that is not a blown coverage. If you watch the play, the Dolphins defense did nothing wrong on that play. That was Lamar. That was Lamar and Zay. That was their greatness that got us that touchdown. It was not the Dolphins. They didn't do anything wrong on that play. If you watch the play, if you know football, that was not a blown coverage. That was not a busted coverage. That was Lamar baiting them into going one way, and then it opened things up for Zay. Lamar, he dropped back as a lefty, as if he was a lefty, and then it caught them off guard. And I'm surprised there wasn't any questions to Lamar about this. But, hey, cool. If there isn't, there isn't. But, I expect the media to ask Lamar about this, honestly. But, dude, we just went in and, we have a 200 plus 210 point differential this season. And we are the first team in NFL history to win back-to-back games by 10-plus points against 11-win teams. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it, man. And by the way, I'm still a little bit under the weather, so excuse me real quick. I sound a little bit weird, yes, but yeah, I'm a bit sick. But anyways, Happy New Year, anybody, guys, too. But again, like, this team really has it, bro. This team really has it. Like, it's going to be hard to imagine this team not winning the Super Bowl. It's going to be hard because we are actually really, really good. And again, like, there is a lot of coping in the internet, of course. All the mental gymnastics. And also the analysis on the on the likely touchdown, the one hand, is also extremely concerning from fans because that play was not only a play by Likely, that was a play by Lamar as well. Because this ball was not inaccurate. It went exactly where it was supposed to go. Like, Likely dropped it immediately. Like, Lamar, he dropped it where only Likely can make a play on it. If he tries to go for his chest, this play is picked off. There was a defender trying to make a play. He was diving. That would have been an interception if he dropped it, if he threw a normal pass. But he dropped it right where Isaiah Likely can make a play. And if the ball was an inaccurate ball, Likely wouldn't have yards after catch. That wouldn't have been a touchdown if the ball was inaccurate. But it was. So that is incredible ball placement from Lamar. So, hey, kudos to that. Here's, just to clear up on these 2 touchdowns. But it also seems like Lamar's the only quarterback to just never be allowed. Never be allowed to have help, it seems. Because people discredited him when he didn't, right? And he was making it work. He had dollar store wide receivers, and he had Greg Roman, and he still won MVP. And he made it work. But now he has decent receivers. He has a NFL caliber wide receiver core. It's, how much help does he need? How much this, how much that. He gets too much. Like, dude, he is the only player not allowed to get help? Like, no one is supposed to, like, teammates are not supposed to make plays for him? Like, dude, Isaiah Likely has shown he can make catches in tight coverage. Trusting him to make them isn't a bad process. It's actually good process. It means you trust him. Like, come on, boys. Come on. Like, are people this dense, bro? People this stupid? Like, people have to learn what ball placement is before talking. Like, come on. Come on, man. Like, dude, such hypocrisy. Such hypocrisy from the media, from dumb fans, outside fans. Like, come on. And then all the quarterbacky stuff, dude. Like, come on. You were never going to win that argument. You were never going to win. Whoever that person is. I don't remember her name. But whoever that person is, you were never going to win. You were always going to be wrong. And you got criticized and disappeared off the internet like an idiot. Don't come into the internet and then say shit like this and then try and play victim, okay? You put yourself out there. Personal responsibility is a thing. I hope you know that. So, get out of here with that narcissism, alright? Get out of here with that narcissism. And narcissism, I'm talking about you, Richard Sherman, trying to still die on that hill that he is not an MVP. That Josh Allen is. You know there's a chance Josh Allen does not make the playoffs? Like, come on, man. There's literally a chance he does not make the playoffs. And you want him to be an MVP. And the Bills have lost a lot of games because of him. because he was turning the ball over. Josh Allen has had his games where you're like, what the hell is that? Lamar hasn't. Lamar hasn't had a game like that this year. He hasn't. Were all of his games good? No. But then he had a game where you're just questioning if he's really up there. No, he hasn't had a game like that. While Josh Allen has had, especially early on in the year. Like, dude, stop with dying into that hill, bro. You lost. Admit you were wrong. It is not. Like, come on. And people just always, and now you have Bengals fans, all these people always trying to just create a double standard. Create a double standard thinking, Lamar gets this pass, but other QBs don't. No, it's the other way around, bro. It's the other way around. These are the same people who would go in and then a few weeks ago say that it's Brock Purdy, it's Josh Allen, it's someone else. And then when Lamar becomes the front runner, it should be CMC. It shouldn't be a quarterback. Like, come on, man. There's no double standard. I'm talking to you, Bengals fans, bro, because I'm seeing that they just think Lamar gets away with anything. No, he doesn't. He hasn't even gotten his respect yet. Like, come on. I freaking hate when I see people try and create double standards that don't exist. There is a double standard between a Lamar and a Burrow, for example. There is. But a double standard favoring Lamar, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist at all. Like, all you're doing is just arguing with yourselves, probably. Or just, it's all in your head, imagining things. Because there is not a single double standard. Lamar is a villain to the media, and he hasn't gotten his respect since he came to the league, since Louisville, since everywhere. And people are still questioning if he should be MVP after this. Like, come on. And then now I see people trying to base everything off of stats a few weeks ago, and then now that Lamar has the sexy stats this week, it's, watch the games. It literally just shows. It shows how people will just use anything. Things will only matter if it fits their agenda. If it does not, they will just exclude it and move the goalposts. And Dolphins fans all crying in the mentions as well, all crying on Twitter about us running up the score. It's really ironic, by the way. It is really ironic coming from you guys who went in and scored 70 points on the Broncos in Week 3. You scored 70 points. 70 points 3 months ago, where you could have just not. We literally brought in our backup. What we did, we literally brought in our backup, and he took one pass for him to score on you. And then you're complaining about the Bradley Chubb injury, like it wasn't your team's fault. It's your team's fault that he was in the game to begin with. Like, dude, Dolphins fans have that tendency of just talking a lot of shit about things they do, a lot of shit about Lamar these past few weeks, as if we have not had their number. And the last 2 times they've ever hosted a playoff game, we've came to their home and beat the shit out of them. And we have outscored them by, we have like a plus like 100, a plus 200 differential against them. Like, come on, man. Come on. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys a segment of Colin Cowherd real quick because I want you guys to hear what he has to say. So I'm going to play it right now. Listen very, very carefully to what Colin Cowherd had to say. It's a little bit of a long segment, but you guys should listen to it.
It's a perfect marriage. John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Here's why it's a perfect marriage. The Ravens have always had a little chip on their shoulder about the Steelers and all those trophies getting all the love in their division. And John Harbaugh got a little chip on his shoulder. The Harbaughs do, nearly fired. And Lamar Jackson is constantly quieting the critics. It is a perfect marriage. And here came flashy and fun and warm weather Miami, and they had a bullseye on them for almost 4 hours. You know, there are certain debates I'm just not going to get involved in. Like vaccines worked, and they save millions of older Americans. I'm not going to argue with you. California's not the worst place to live. I've been here 8 years. It's nice. And Tom Cruise, little wacky with Scientology, dude can act. He does a movie, they're always good. And Lamar Jackson's really special. This he can't pass nonsense, give me a break. Yesterday, the perfect passer rating. He's done that 3 times. You know how many times Mahomes has had a perfect passer rating? 0. No current player equals Lamar Jackson in perfect passer rating days. Dude can pass, and yes, Tom Cruise can act. Add to that his mobility, his competitiveness, his dominance on the field, and it looks like he's going half speed. His toughness. They score 10.5 points more when he plays than when he doesn't. And that number is significant. That's the number Vegas odds makers felt that Aaron Rodgers was worth in his prime. 10 and 11 points a game. 10.5, 11 points a game. When Rodgers was the most talented quarterback in this league. And that was considered like 4 to 5 points more than even good quarterbacks. That's where Lamar is. Yeah, I didn't know what he was going to be out of college. I had my doubts. Skinny kid who ran a lot. By the way, so did everybody in the NFL. That's why most of the first round passed on him. 80% of quarterbacks who were drafted round 1 through 7 don't work. Over half the first round quarterbacks don't work. The quarterbacks drafted above him in the draft didn't work. I know, you internet sleuths and geniuses. You knew from the very beginning. Nobody else did. Nobody thought this is what you were going to have. The most dominating player in the league, going to win his second MVP. It's just stubborn and stupid, though. Even if you didn't know what he was going to be, if you're still not acknowledging he's great. He wins 80% of his games. He's worth 10 to 11 points per game. You saw him against San Francisco and Miami dismantle those defenses. Literally, people don't know how to defend him. Do you pass rush him? Good luck blitzing him. Yesterday on the blitz, he was money. He's missing a Pro Bowl tight end. Both of his top 2 running backs. His offensive line, including his Pro Bowl left tackle, has missed time this year. His best receiver is a 5'9" rookie who sometimes gets the drops. And they're going to be the number 1 seed in the better conference. In a great division. The guy is magic. W-O-W. Watch the Niners. They were terrified of him. Watch the Dolphins. They don't have an answer for him. And yesterday was classic Lamar. This idea he can't pass. Listen, it's okay to make mistakes. You don't need to own the internet every day. But you got to admit when you're wrong. Like with Lamar, I had no idea what it would look like. But by year 2, I was like, yeah, what was I saying? He throws a lot better than people think. And the Ravens have been physically banged up all year. And he just overcomes it. Not overcomes it, blows out the Niners, blows out the Dolphins, blows out Detroit earlier this year, blows out Seattle, beats a red-hot Rams team. Way to go, Lamar, again.
And again, admitting you aren't wrong when you're wrong after so many years, it pretty much leans towards narcissism. That's all I'm going to say. It leans to narcissism. It's like he's one of the only guys who has admitted when he's wrong. He has admitted when he's wrong. When he was wrong. And again, like that's something most analysts cannot admit. They cannot admit when they're wrong. And yeah, it's again. How do I say it? Lamar's perception of the media has been it. Lamar's perception of the media is really misleading, right? And that is due to people's egos. It's all due to people's egos and people admitting they're never wrong. And just people refusing to eat humble pie. That is basically it. It's sad to see, because a lot of those people, they have input on his legacy. They have input on his legacy because some of these people, they vote for the Hall of Fame, for MVP, for all this, all that, like all these kinds of awards. So they could just not give it to him regardless, just because everything is a little bit personal, right? So yeah, like I said, there's nothing Lamar is gonna do for people to admit that they were wrong. There's like, no matter what Lamar does, it's not going to be enough for a lot of people. So that's how I'm going to close out the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and click the like button. Comment down below your thoughts on the game. And yeah, very quarterbacky performance from Lamar. He was on his quarterbacky shit today. And Happy New Year.